What happens when a legendary actress sits down for what should be a friendly chat, only to face a host who turns the entire conversation into a battlefield? In just 37 seconds, a simple question spirals into chaos, leaving one of Britain's most beloved stars walking off the set in disgust. Television is supposed to be about entertainment. It is supposed to bring joy, laughter, maybe a few tears when the story calls for it. But what it should never be is cruel. What it should never be is a platform for one person to attack another without provocation. Yet that is exactly what is about to happen on this particular afternoon, in front of hundreds of live audience members and millions watching at home. The studio lights are bright, the audience is buzzing with excitement, and the panel of loose women is ready for their next guest. This is supposed to be easy. This is supposed to be fun. A quick interview, some laughs, maybe a story or two about life in the theater. But from the very first moment Judi Dench walks onto that stage, something feels different. The production team has been preparing for this interview for weeks. Getting Judi Dench on the show is a coup, the kind of booking that sends ratings through the roof. Everyone is excited. The producers are thrilled. The crew is on their best behavior. Even the audience members feel special, knowing they are about to witness something memorable. If only they knew just how memorable it would turn out to be. The applause is loud as Judi makes her entrance. She waves to the crowd, smiling warmly, her presence commanding the room without even trying. This is a woman who has spent decades perfecting her craft, who has earned every accolade imaginable, who carries herself with grace and dignity. The audience loves her. The panel knows they are lucky to have her. As she makes her way to the seating area, Judi exchanges warm greetings with each panelist. A kiss on the cheek for Ruth, a friendly squeeze of the hand for Janet, a genuine smile for Colin. Even Denise receives a polite nod, though there is something in Denise's eyes that Judi cannot quite read. Something that makes her pause for just a fraction of a second before taking her seat. Judi takes her seat between Denise Welch and the other panelists. Ruth Langsford is there, sitting across from Judi with a welcoming smile. Janet Street Porter is next to Ruth, arms crossed, ready for whatever comes next. Colleen Nolan sits beside Denise, already looking slightly uncomfortable, as if she senses something brewing beneath the surface. The studio audience settles down. There is an air of excitement. After all, it is not every day that Dame Judi Dench graces a daytime television show. People have been waiting for this. They have their phones ready, hoping to capture a memorable moment. They want to hear stories about her incredible career, her experiences working with the greatest actors of our time, her thoughts on the changing landscape of theater and film. They want wisdom, humor, warmth. What they are about to witness is none of those things. Denise starts the interview. "Well, Judi, it's wonderful to have you here," she says, her voice dripping with false warmth. "We've all been dying to talk to you." Judi nods politely. "Thank you for having me. It's lovely to be here." Ruth leans in. "We were just saying before you came on, Judi, how much we admire your work. You've been such an inspiration to so many people." Judi smiles warmly. "That's very kind of you to say, Ruth. It's always nice to hear." Janet adds, "And you're still working so much, Judi. What keeps you going after all these years?" Judi thinks for a moment. "I suppose it's just the love of what I do. I've never thought of it as work, really. It's just who I am." There is a brief pause. Then Denise leans forward, her expression shifting. "So, Judi," she begins, her tone already carrying an edge, "you've had quite the career, haven't you? All those years in the theater, all those films. But tell me, do you ever wonder if maybe you've been a bit, I don't know, overrated?" The words hang in the air like a bomb that has not yet exploded. For a moment, nobody moves, nobody breathes. It is as if time itself has stopped, waiting to see what will happen next. The studio goes silent. The audience gasps. Ruth's smile freezes on her face. Janet raises her eyebrows. Colleen looks like she wants to sink into her chair. Judi blinks, clearly taken aback. "I'm sorry, what?" Judi asks, her voice calm but with a hint of steel underneath. Denise shrugs, leaning back in her chair as if she has just asked the most innocent question in the world. "Oh, come on, Judi. I'm just being honest here. I mean, you've won all these awards, you've been in all these big films, but do you ever think maybe people just give you things because of who you are, not because you've actually earned them?" The temperature in the room drops. Judi's expression hardens. "I'm not sure I understand what you're getting at, Denise." Denise waves her hand dismissively. "I'm just saying, maybe you've coasted a bit. Maybe you've had it easy because everyone treats you like royalty. Some of us have had to work for everything we've got. The audience shifts uncomfortably in their seats. This is not what anyone expected. This is not pleasant afternoon television. This is something darker, meaner, something that should not be happening. Ruth tries to step in. Denise, I think that's a bit, she starts, but Denise cuts her off. No, Ruth, I'm asking a valid question, Denise snaps. We're allowed to ask questions here, aren't we? Or is Judi too precious for that? Judi takes a deep breath. When she speaks, her voice is measured, controlled. Denise, I've spent over 60 years working in this industry. I've done theater, film, television. I've played every kind of role you can imagine. I've worked with some of the greatest directors and actors in the world, and I've done it all because I love what I do, not because anyone handed me anything. Her words are calm, but there is steel underneath them. She is not shouting. She is not losing her temper. She is simply stating facts, but Denise does not seem to hear them, or perhaps she hears them and simply does not care. Denise laughs, but there is no humor in it. Oh, come on. You can't seriously sit there and tell me you've had to struggle like the rest of us. You've been pampered your whole career. Colleen finally speaks up, her voice small and uncertain. Denise, maybe we should. Stay out of this. Colleen, Denise snaps, not even looking at her. This is between me and Judi. Janet leans forward. Denise, I think you're being a bit unfair here, she says, her voice firm. Judi's career speaks for itself. Ruth nods vigorously. Absolutely. Judi has worked incredibly hard for everything she's achieved. Denise turns on Janet. Oh, so now you're defending her? Of course you are. Everyone always defends Judi. She can do no wrong, can she? There is venom in her voice now, a bitterness that seems to come from somewhere deep inside. The other panelists exchange worried glances. The audience is frozen, unsure whether to intervene or simply watch this train wreck unfold. Colleen shifts in her seat, clearly uncomfortable. Maybe we should, she starts. But Denise is not done. You know what I think? Denise says, pointing a finger at Judi. I think you've been riding on your reputation for years. I think people are too scared to say anything negative about you because you're Dame Judi Dench. But I'm not scared. I'm saying what everyone's thinking. Ruth tries to interject. Denise, that's really not what, Ruth? Not fair? Not nice? Denise turns to her. Since when did this show become about being nice? I thought we were supposed to speak our minds here. Judi stares at Denise for a long moment. The audience is completely silent now, holding their breath. Ruth looks horrified. Janet looks angry. Colleen looks like she wants to disappear. Denise, Judi says quietly, I came here today because I thought this would be a pleasant conversation. I've always enjoyed coming on shows like this, talking to the audience, sharing stories, but I did not come here to be insulted. Her words are measured, calm, dignified. She is not raising her voice. She is not matching Denise's hostility with hostility of her own. She is simply stating a fact, a boundary, a line that should not have been crossed in the first place. Denise scoffs. Oh, here we go. Can't handle a bit of criticism, can you? Ruth tries again. Denise, please, let's just… No, Ruth. Judi interrupts, her voice rising slightly. Let her say what she wants to say. Clearly, Denise has some opinions she needs to get off her chest. Denise leans forward again, her expression smug. All right, fine. You want me to say it? I think you're overrated. I think you've been given a free pass your entire career because people are too polite to tell you the truth. I think there are plenty of actresses out there who are just as talented as you, if not more so, who never get the recognition you get. The audience is in shock. A few people start murmuring. Ruth shakes her head. Janet looks like she is about to explode. Colleen covers her face with her hands. Judi takes another deep breath. Denise, I don't know what I've done to offend you, but this is completely uncalled for. I've worked hard my entire life. I've earned everything I have. And I don't need to justify myself to you or anyone else. Denise laughs again. Oh, please, spare me the sob story. You've lived a charmed life, and you know it. Janet slams her hand on the table. Denise, that's enough, she says, her voice cutting through the tension. You're being completely out of line. The sound of Janet's hand hitting the table reverberates through the studio. It is a wake-up call, a signal that someone needs to take control of this situation before it spirals even further out of control. But Denise is beyond reason now. Denise turns on Janet. Oh, shut up, Janet. You don't get to tell me what to do. Yes, I do. Janet shoots back, especially when you're being disrespectful to a guest. Judi came here in good faith, and you're treating her like garbage. Denise stands up, pointing at Janet. You know what? I'm sick of this. I'm sick of everyone acting like Judi Dench is some kind of saint. She's not. She's just another actress who's been lucky enough to get roles handed to her. The audience begins to murmur louder now. Some people are shaking their heads. Others are looking at each other in disbelief. This is not entertainment. This is cruelty. Ruth stands up too. Denise, sit down. This is not professional. Denise ignores her. And another thing, she continues, still pointing at Judi. Maybe if you actually took some time to mentor younger actresses instead of hogging all the spotlight, we'd have more talent in this country. This accusation, perhaps more than any other, stings the most, because it is so profoundly untrue. Judi has spent countless hours working with young actors, teaching, guiding, encouraging. She has given her time freely, generously, asking for nothing in return. And now, to have that twisted into something selfish, something cruel, is more than she can bear. That is the final straw. Judi stands up slowly, her face calm but her eyes blazing. Denise, I have spent years mentoring young actors. I've taught at drama schools. I've given advice to anyone who's asked. But I will not sit here and let you attack me for no reason. Her voice is quiet, but it carries across the entire studio. Every single person in the room can hear her. Every single person understands that something significant is happening. This is not just a disagreement. This is a line being drawn. Denise crosses her arms. Oh, so now you're leaving? Can't take the heat? Judi looks at her, then at the other panelists. Ruth looks mortified. Janet looks furious. Colleen looks devastated. Judi turns to the audience. I'm very sorry, she says, her voice steady. I thought this would be a lovely conversation, but it's clear that's not possible today. Denise scoffs. Typical. Running away. Judi turns back to Denise, her expression icy. I'm not running away, Denise. I'm choosing not to engage with someone who has no respect for me or my work. There's a difference. The distinction is important. Judi is not fleeing. She is not defeated. She is making a choice, exercising her right to remove herself from a toxic situation. It is an act of self-respect, of dignity, of knowing her own worth, and everyone in that studio knows it. With that, Judi removes her microphone, places it carefully on the table, and walks off the stage. The audience is stunned into silence. Ruth immediately stands and follows Judi, calling after her. Judi, please wait. I'm so sorry about this. The click of Judi's shoes on the studio floor echoes through the silence. Every step is deliberate, measured, dignified. She does not run. She does not storm off in a huff. She simply walks away with her head held high, refusing to give Denise the satisfaction of seeing her upset. Janet stands as well, glaring at Denise. This is your fault, she says coldly. You've just humiliated one of the greatest actresses this country has ever produced. Denise shrugs. Oh, please. She'll be fine. She's Dame Judi Dench. She's survived worse than me. Janet shakes her head in disgust. You're unbelievable. She walks off the stage as well, leaving Denise and Colleen sitting there. Colleen looks at Denise, her expression pained. Denise, why would you do that? That was cruel. Denise waves her off. Oh, come on, Colleen. Don't tell me you've never thought the same thing. Colleen stands up. No, Denise, I haven't. Because Judi Dench is a legend, and she deserves respect. She walks off as well, leaving Denise alone on the panel. The cameras are still rolling. The audience is still in shock. Denise looks around, suddenly realizing she is by herself. A few audience members start to boo. Denise's confident expression falters for just a moment. She tries to smile, tries to regain some composure, but the damage is done. The mask has slipped. Everyone has seen who she really is underneath all the bluster and bravado. And what they have seen is not pretty. Not pretty at all. Backstage, Judi is being comforted by Ruth and Janet. I'm so sorry, Judi, Ruth says, her voice full of regret. That should never have happened. Judi waves her hand. It's not your fault, Ruth. I just don't understand why she felt the need to be so hostile. Her voice wavers slightly, and for the first time, there is a hint of emotion breaking through her composed exterior. She is hurt. Not angry, not furious, just deeply, profoundly hurt. After decades of giving everything to her craft, of working tirelessly, of earning every accolade through sheer talent and dedication, to be told that it was all handed to her, that she did not deserve it, cuts deeper than any bad review ever could. Janet puts a hand on Judi's shoulder because she's jealous, Judi, plain and simple. She sees someone who's achieved what she never will, and she can't stand it. Judi looks up at Janet, a sad smile on her face. You really think it's that simple? I do, Janet says firmly. Some people can't handle being in the presence of true greatness. It makes them feel small, so they try to tear the other person down to their level, but it never works. You're still Judi Dench, and she's still, well, her. Colleen appears, looking sheepish. Judi, I'm so sorry. I should have said something sooner. I just didn't know how to handle it. Judi smiles softly. It's all right, Colleen. I know you were in a difficult position. Colleen shakes her head, tears forming in her eyes. No, it's not all right. I sat there and watched it happen. I should have stood up for you. I should have told Denise to stop. But I was scared. I was a coward. Ruth puts an arm around Colleen. We all should have done more. We all saw what was happening, and none of us stopped it quickly enough. Back on the stage, Denise is still sitting there, alone. The producers are scrambling to figure out what to do. The show has completely fallen apart. The audience is murmuring, some still booing. Denise finally stands up, trying to regain some composure. Well, she says, her voice tight, I suppose we'll have to cut to a commercial break. She forces a smile, but it is clear she knows she has messed up. The cameras cut away. Backstage, the atmosphere is tense. Judi is already preparing to leave. Ruth is still apologizing profusely. Please, Judi, let me make this right somehow. Judi shakes her head gently. Ruth, there's nothing you can do. What happened today is not something that can be fixed with an apology. Denise showed her true colors, and I have no interest in ever coming back here again. Janet nods in agreement. I don't blame you, Judi. If I were you, I'd never set foot in this studio again either. Colleen looks down at her feet. I can't believe she said those things. I've never seen her act like that before. Janet scoffs. Oh, please. Denise has always been like this. She just usually hides it better. Judi picks up her bag and turns to the others. Thank you all for your support. It means a lot. But I really must go now. She gives them each a small smile before walking towards the exit. As Judi leaves the building, the producers are in full panic mode. They know this is going to be a disaster. One of them rushes over to Denise, who is now in her dressing room. The door swings open and the producer stands in the doorway, face red with barely contained fury. This is not a conversation they ever expected to have. This is not a situation they ever wanted to be in. Denise, what were you thinking? The producer demands. You just drove away one of the biggest names we've ever had on this show. Denise shrugs, still trying to act like she does not care. She couldn't handle a bit of honesty. That's not my problem. But her voice lacks conviction now. The bravado is slipping. She can see it in the producer's face. This is serious. This is not going to blow over. The producer shakes their head. No, Denise, this is your problem. You've embarrassed the show, you've embarrassed yourself, and you've made us all look terrible. This is going to have consequences. For the first time, Denise looks slightly worried. What kind of consequences? The producer does not answer. They just walk away, leaving Denise sitting there, finally starting to realize the gravity of what she has done. Back on the stage, the other panelists are trying to regroup. Ruth is visibly shaken. Janet is furious. Colleen looks like she is on the verge of tears. I can't believe this happened, Ruth says, her voice trembling. Judi is one of the most respected people in the entire industry, and we just let her be humiliated on live television. Janet crosses her arms. We didn't let it happen, Ruth. Denise did this. All on her own. Colleen wipes her eyes. What are we going to do now? We can't just pretend this didn't happen. Ruth takes a deep breath. We need to address it. On air. We need to apologize to Judi and make it clear that what Denise said does not represent the views of this show. Janet nods. Agreed. And Denise needs to apologize too. Colleen shakes her head. You know she won't. She never admits when she's wrong. Janet's jaw tightens. Then she shouldn't be on this panel. The cameras come back on. The audience is still buzzing with shock and confusion. Ruth takes the lead, her expression serious. She clears her throat, composing herself. The weight of what has just happened sits heavy on her shoulders. This is her show. These are her colleagues. And one of her guests, one of the most respected actresses in the world, has just been driven off the stage. "We want to address what just happened," she begins. "What you saw was completely unacceptable. Judi Dench is a guest on this show, and she deserves to be treated with respect. What was said to her today does not reflect the values of loose women, and we sincerely apologize to Judi and to all of you watching at home." The audience applauds. Janet speaks next. "Judi Dench is a legend. She has given so much to the world of acting, and she deserves nothing but admiration and respect. What happened today was shameful, and I hope she knows that most of us on this panel hold her in the highest regard." Colleen adds her voice, tears in her eyes. "Judi, if you're watching, I'm so sorry. You didn't deserve that. You're an inspiration to so many people, and I'm just sorry we couldn't stop what happened." Her voice cracks as she speaks. The emotion is real. The regret is palpable. The audience can feel it. They know this is not just performative. This is genuine remorse from people who feel they have let someone down. The camera pans to Denise's empty chair. Ruth looks at it for a moment before continuing. "We hope that everyone can learn from this. Respect and kindness should always come first, especially when we have the privilege of speaking with someone as accomplished as Judi." The show wraps up awkwardly, the energy completely drained from the studio. As soon as the cameras are off, the panelists stand up and leave the stage without a word. Meanwhile, Judi is already on her way home. She sits in the back of her car, looking out the window. She is not angry anymore. She is just tired. Tired of people thinking they have the right to tear her down. Tired of having to defend herself when she has done nothing wrong. The city passes by in a blur. People going about their lives, completely unaware of what just happened. Completely unaware that one of their greatest talents was just humiliated on live television. The world keeps turning, indifferent to her pain. Her phone buzzes. It is a message from Ruth. "Judi, I'm so sorry. Please let me know if there's anything I can do." Judi types back a simple reply. "Thank you, Ruth. I appreciate it." Another message comes through, this one from Janet. "You handled that with more grace than she deserved. We're all disgusted by what happened." Then one from Colleen. "I'm so ashamed I didn't do more. You're a legend, and you deserve so much better." The messages keep coming. Friends, colleagues, people she has worked with over the years, all expressing their support, their outrage, their solidarity. It is touching. It helps. But it does not erase what happened. She puts the phone away and closes her eyes. Today was supposed to be easy. Today was supposed to be fun. But instead, it turned into something ugly. Something she never asked for. She thinks about all the years she has spent on stage, in front of cameras, giving everything she has to her performances. She thinks about the early mornings, the late nights, the hours of rehearsal, the constant push to be better, to dig deeper, to find truth in every role. She thinks about the sacrifices, the missed family gatherings, the relationships strained by the demands of her career. And she thinks about how easily someone like Denise can dismiss all of that with a few cruel words. Back at the studio, Denise finally emerges from her dressing room. The hallway is empty. Everyone has left. She walks slowly towards the exit, her footsteps echoing in the silence. The lights in the corridor flicker slightly. The building feels different now, colder somehow. Or perhaps it is just the weight of what she has done settling onto her shoulders. Perhaps it is the realization that she has crossed a line that cannot be uncrossed. As she pushes open the door, she sees a group of crew members standing outside. They look at her, their expressions cold. No one says anything. They just watch as she walks past them. Denise gets into her car and drives away. For the first time all day, she is not smiling. She is not confident. She is alone with her thoughts, and they are not pleasant. She grips the steering wheel tightly, her knuckles white. In the rearview mirror, the studio disappears into the distance. But the memory of what happened will not disappear so easily. It will follow her. It will haunt her. Because deep down, somewhere beneath all the bravado and defensiveness, she knows she was wrong. The traffic lights turn red. She stops. In the silence of her car, with no cameras, no audience, no one to perform for, the truth settles in. She attacked someone who did not deserve it. She let her own insecurities and jealousies turn her into someone cruel, and now she has to live with that. What was supposed to be a simple interview turned into a moment that no one will forget. A moment where respect was thrown out the window, where a legend was attacked, and where a host showed her true colors. And in the end, it was not Judi who looked bad. It was Denise. Always Denise. The story will be told and retold. It will become part of television history, but not in the way anyone wanted. It will be a cautionary tale about what happens when ego overtakes respect, when jealousy masquerades as honesty, when someone mistakes cruelty for courage. Judi will move on. She always does. She will continue to work, to create, to inspire, because that is who she is. But this moment, this ugly, unnecessary moment, will follow Denise for the rest of her career. And perhaps that is the price of forgetting that kindness costs nothing, but its absence costs everything.